Senate Democrats' $369 billion climate and tax bill could have major implications for the electric vehicle industry and Americans' energy bills. A recent article from the New York Times digs into how it could make environmentally friendly vehicles more accessible and make it harder for China to compete in the market. Jack Ewing is a business reporter for the New York Times, and he co-wrote the article, and he is here to talk a little bit more about it. Okay, so let us start with electric vehicles. What effects would this bill have on people who are looking to buy greener vehicles? Because in many cases, electric vehicles are still pretty expensive. And, a lot of the credits that you used to get for buying an electric vehicle, they're not really as available as they were before.
Yeah, that's correct. And the price of electric vehicles has been going up. The average is around $66,000. So that's really out of reach for a lot of people. So what this bill does is extend a $7,500 credit that was in place. And one of the most important things is that before it was limited to 200,000 credits per manufacturer. And that means Tesla had already run out of credits. GM had already run out of credits. Now, when you buy a Tesla or a GM car, you will get that credit again. And that's also important for Ford, Toyota, some other companies that were close to running out. And then the other thing that's very important is that there's a $4,500 credit for used vehicles, which did not exist before. And that's also something that's very important for lower income, middle income people who buy their cars secondhand, which is actually most people.
Jack, can I ask you about something that I didn't see in the article? What about the charging infrastructure? I have an electric vehicle, so I know that it's still a little inconvenient. If you don't have a driveway, that you have and you can afford to put a personal charging thing in there. So is there anything about sort of expanding that so that having an electric vehicle is a lot more manageable?
Yes, I have an electric vehicle too, so I know what you're talking about. There's not so much in this bill, but there was a previous bill which has already been passed, which does have a lot of money to expand the charging infrastructure, particularly along major highways. And that's designed to help alleviate range anxiety for people who are traveling long distances on the interstates so that they'll know that there are chargers available. So that is being addressed. There's still a long way to go.
Range anxiety. I didn't know there was a phrase for the thing that I feel.
I think that I would be anxious if I was in an electric vehicle and not sure where the next charging station is. And you report on this, that in this bill in particular, it appears to make it harder for China to compete in the electric car market space here in the U.S. Describe that for me.
Yeah, Vlad, I mean, that's an important part of the bill, and it's kind of a subtext. The bill never mentions China, but if you read it closely, there are a lot of provisions that are basically designed to cut China out of the whole electric vehicle supply chain. The $7,500 credit that we were just talking about, to qualify for that, or at least for the full amount, the car has to be made mostly in North America. And there are a number of provisions that basically are designed to make it very difficult for China to export cars or batteries or raw materials to the United States, and to make it progressively more difficult as time goes on. Because at the moment, China has the largest battery maker. The Chinese automakers are hoping to get into the American market, and China has a lock on the raw materials, and all of that is seen as a security problem for the United States.
So as you know, we can all agree that it's better to sort of go greener and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, people look at their personal finances, and if they see their bills going up, then they're not so eager to make the sacrifices. But you spoke to a political science professor who said that this bill is actually going to reduce every American's energy bill. How will it do that?
Well, I think that the main way is that there's a lot of credits for people to buy energy efficient appliances, to buy heat pumps, to put solar cells on their roofs, all these types of things that will lower your energy consumption or allow you to generate your own electricity and insulate you from price increases and help your energy bill go down. I think that's the most important thing. There's also a lot of money for companies to install solar parks, wind energy, renewable energy, to build factories to produce solar cells. So those are all things that will help reduce the United States dependence on fossil fuels and make us less dependent on things like, what Russia does or what Venezuela does. We'll be generating energy at home.
Lots of carrots.
Exactly.
Carrots are good.
That's
we'll take
right. We'll
encouragement over sticks anyways.
Jack Ewing, always great to have you. Thanks for your reporting.
Thanks for having me.